Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel today. And in this video, we are going to be discussing about we're going to be doing an unboxing and a tech review of the new microphone that I just purchased. I got this for my streaming channel personally because I was trying to look for something that was simple, cheap, and also kind of came with something that had some travel accessories and things that I could have for it. So we will be unboxing the Maono AU-A04 Plus microphone. And the benefit of this kit and the kind of the reason I went after this one is for the price point and what I've seen quality wise, you get a whole lot out of that. Basically, you end up with pop filter, there's a windscreen, microphone, shock mount, boom arm, tripod, an additional tripod that you can actually mount your microphone to if you're traveling with it, and that's kind of what I was looking for as well. So we're going to take a look at this today. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and then I will do some audio demonstrations about the differences between like this microphone that I'm using now, the microphone that's on my webcam, and then the microphone itself, so you can get kind of three different sound differences to kind of tell how that works. So with that, we will go ahead and get started with the unboxing, and we will go from there. Stay tuned. Before we get started with that unboxing there, I just want to happen to say that if you happen to like this video today, please give me a thumbs up, give me comments, let me know what's going on for you and why you liked it. If you really like the content that's coming out of this channel, please hit that subscribe button that's down in the lower right-hand side, just outside of the player window there, so that way you have the opportunity to get notifications every time I do another one of these unboxings, or if you like any of my gameplay videos or anything like that. It means a lot to me, and I think I think you'll appreciate it too with the future content that's coming from here. So go ahead and do that, and now we will roll into this review. Thanks. So here we have our box. You know, I got my kind of camera set up here so you guys can see it as I'm doing this straight out the setup here. So we're just going to go through, open this up, and I'll kind of detail each piece of this as we are working through it. So again, this is the model AU-A04 Plus, and it comes as an entire kit from Amazon. I will provide a link to the item in the description of this video. So let's get rolling there. So we're going to slide this back down a little. So first thing, it's a little instruction booklet. It's pretty standard, but one thing that they do say is that since this is a cardioid polar pattern, to make sure that the way you position the microphone, that is pretty important. Make sure that the logo is actually facing towards you while you're doing that, so that way you can make sure that you're getting the best sound from it. For those who don't know, cardioid polar patterns are basically we'll say it's probably a 270-degree pattern of audio, so it does it that way. So anything like directly behind the microphone can have some problems there. But what I did see, or for some others, is that this pop filter is actually kind of nice. It's actually, let's see if I can get it on video. It's actually 2 layers of material there, so it's nice. It actually works really well. This arm connects directly to your boom stand, so you'll have a great opportunity there. And it's actually pretty stern. It's not hard to flex, but once it's in position, it seems to stay well. It's not super heavy, so I don't think you'll have a problem with that. I think these pop filters are something that you want to use all the time if you have any kind of noise or anything like that when you're talking, just depending on how your tones are. I know I emphasize some of my letters a little too hard, so I think that'll be really good. So that is your pop filter. Right in here, we do have our little tripod, and this was kind of the one part that I was really excited about, especially since I want to be able to take this microphone with me when I travel. You know, just a simple little tripod with a stand, and if I'm trying to do videos somewhere other than my desk, it's just an opportunity to have something to set the microphone directly up against there. So it's a nice little tripod to have. You can always throw that in a bag. It's really small, be able to get around with it. So I'm going to set that guy right here. Take off this foam piece. And we will start with down the boom arm up. So we will have our desk clamp. Now, one thing I will measure, I don't have it with me right here. One thing I was kind of wondering about is what's the minimum size of desk. So I don't have a ruler with me right now, actually. So we're looking at, it's less than 1 inch though. So pretty much any standard desk there, I don't think you'll have any issues. One nice thing about this is that the clamp is not directly attached to the boom arm. So you can set this up, and then if you ever need to take your boom arm off your desk or something like that, you don't actually have to adjust your clamp or anything like that. You just unattach it from this thumb screw right here. So that's a nice little piece there. I've heard really good things about the way this boom arm holds steady. It's got a nice foam pad here, so it's not going to score the top of your desk, so you don't have to worry about leaving scratches on if you have any decorative or finished surface on your desk there. So the metal itself feels fine. I would almost wonder, this twist is a little flexible. I figure if you tighten it down really, really tight, you might be able to bend that metal. But if you're putting it down that tight on your surface, then you're not doing it right. You're torquing it way too hard down, so I don't think that'll be a huge concern. You just want this tight enough to hold into position. You don't need it to be 200 foot-pounds of torque or something like that on there to keep it in place. So that is your desk mount. We will go with our arm mount now. So this is right here is where it will hook into your desk mount there. So you'll set it up, it'll slide right into that desk mount with that thumb screw there, and that's how you will attach that. Now this does have a tensioner for your top piece. So you have a thumb screw here to adjust how strong you want these springs to be able to pull on your boom here. There isn't one on the lower section, it's just on this top piece here. So you do have an additional point of adjustment right here when you mount your microphone. So you can mount your microphone vertical, or, well, not vertical or horizontal, but upside down or right side up, whichever way best fits your setup and however it works with your cameras, and if you want it out of position or not, kind of thing, or at an angle, or kind of however you want to take care of that. Actually, not at an angle, upside down or right side up, right? Because this doesn't go the other way. But so then you just tighten these thumb screws down, hold it in position, and then they're pretty easily adjustable. Seems like once you get a little bit of tension on it, that's really not like I'm trying to move it now, and I barely put any too much tension on this one right here. So I'll be interested, how that works once that's all set up there. The boom arm itself is kind of, I'd say it's about, what's that, maybe 3 feet when it's all stretched out. I'll measure it and I'll put it down in the description of the video when I have that ruler with me to kind of get all the exact measurements there, or maybe I'll put them in text later. Springs are making a little bit of noise, but that's probably just because they're brand new. That's really it for the boom arm. I don't think there's a whole lot of other comments I can give on that. So we will set that down on the floor to the side of me here. Next on the list would be our shock mount. So I've heard really good things about the shock mount. It looks pretty sturdy. A lot of people said that, basically when you're using that boom arm and you're moving your microphone around, this will keep from that boom, boom, boom noise on your microphone if as you're bumping it and stuff like that. In order to insert, I'll keep it here on the desk, and when I get the microphone out, I'll show you. In order to insert that, you just kind of squeeze these pins. It opens up this clip right here, and then that allows you to slip your microphone in and out. So it's pretty easy to get it in and out of there, and it should work with just about any standard microphone. So, and that was another reason that I was kind of looking, and I was really excited about this kit specifically, was because it came with all these accessories that were kind of universally fitting, and you could kind of make them work with whatever you wanted to. So that is your boom arm. A little bit of noise in that clip there. I'd have to see what's good. That's just the way it's resting on that pin there for the elastic there. So yeah, but shouldn't be an issue. I hope not. I'll take a look at that later. But that is your shock mount. I'll put that guy right here. This guy right here. This is the mount arm for your. This is for the tripod. All right. So this is your independent microphone mount for the tripod itself. I'm assuming that the microphone screws into this. I'll check in just a second. I'm not quite sure how that mounts on there just yet, because it's threaded on the inside here, so I'll take a look at that. It's probably in that booklet if I decided to read it. But so we will look at that. Here is the big piece of the day, right? We are looking at this Maono microphone here. So this guy here, full metal casing. It is a condenser microphone, so it's going to be super sensitive. Much different from, and like I said, it's a cardioid polar pattern, so much different than this headset microphone that I'm using right now. Is omnidirectional, and it kind of has some, basically it picks up, the biggest concern for me was like as I'm doing things on the computer, I'm trying to make different videos and stuff. The keyboard sounds and mouse clicks and everything like that, you can hear very, very easily with my current microphone. And honestly, when I'm recording a YouTube video, it kind of looks goofy just having this headset wrapped around my neck to try to use it. So definitely wanted something that was a lot more sensitive, that I could also get closer and had a better polar pattern, so that way I could have the opportunity to be able to try to hide some of those other noises that are going on in my room here. So on the bottom here, normally where you would see on a typical XLR microphone, you would see that XLR port. Well, here we've got our USB port, and I was correct about that threading, because it looks like This right here, threads right. Yep, there we go. This right here. So if you're using this with the tripod, your microphone can thread straight onto that, and then that's how that would hook into your tripod there. So that's that portion. So that way your USB cable comes out the back side. So that's actually really, really neat. I'm actually going to do that in just a second. Let's take this off again for just a second. Last in the bucket, nope, not last. Next, we have our windscreen. So typically, you always want to have a windscreen on your microphone if you have any kind of wind in your room, right? So I have a ceiling fan going right now, just trying to keep me cool, and I have like computer fans and stuff like that. So if you have any of that kind of noise, or if your room isn't dead still with wind noise or anything like that, this is something great to have. And it just keeps, and if you breathe heavy, right, this can kind of keep that kind of protected. So you get your windscreen on your microphone here, and that'll help you keep your sound quality down a little bit, or your sound quality up a little bit. So that's the windscreen now attached. Our USB cable, it's supposed to be about 10 feet long. Again, I don't have a tape measure, or a ruler, so I will take care of that later. But we're just winding that out. It's not braided or anything, which I kind of, it's all right. Braided would just be nicer if you were trying to travel with it more, just because it doesn't get all tangled up as much. But the one nice thing about this one is they do have this. It does have this magnetic suppression ring on it. So this is to keep sounds and surges out of your audio line. So it's supposed to keep anything that's coming through. It's supposed to keep the microphone quality down and stuff like that. So if you've ever had any power cables and you've always wondered what this little dongle on one of the ends was for, that's what it is. It's just a little magnetic ring to keep electronic interference down. So that will conclude that portion. I'm going to take this box off my desk. And again, this is USB Type B to USB A is what it's called, right? Just standard USB A. And so this is USB 2.0, so you don't need a fancy port for it. You don't need anything crazy. It's not super high speed requirements or anything like that. So you can use just a typical USB-B cable, right? My idea is I'm going to keep all this on my shock arm or on my boom arm, and then I will, have a separate USB-B cable, like a little short 3 to 6 footer or something like that to travel with. That way, if I'm using my laptop or something trying to record a video, I'll have that microphone accessible to me there as well. One thing about these condenser microphones is they say that the condenser coil inside of the microphone is actually very, very, very sensitive. So if you do plan to travel with it, have a nice kit for it, or have a nice case. So I'm actually planning to do something, I'm actually planning to take some of this foam cutout here and kind of trim it down to fit inside of I have like a Pelican style case that I have, and try to trim this actual cutout and reuse this. So it'll be something that I can, simply keep with me, and that way I can already have everything set up. I'll probably use the tripod was in the top of the box, so I'll probably use the tripod and the microphone piece at least, and then anything else there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw this guy back on real quick, pull this guy off of my desk here, excuse the lint, screw this guy on, and so he's nice and sturdy on there. We're going to screw this guy on here. Come on, maybe. I probably should screw this guy on first, huh? Oh, there it goes. Okay, screw that guy on there. All right, tighten this guy up just a hair so that way my microphone's not flopping everywhere. And then we can stand up our tripod. So that would be as if we were using this in a tripod format. Right, so there, that's working. And again, with the way this condenser microphone works, always make sure whichever way you're positioning your microphone, that the Maono emblem actually needs to be facing towards the audio source. So, if I were talking and using this currently, I would need to have it facing like this. So that way I'd be, all my audio would be going directly into the front. You don't want to be going into the back of the microphone. Well, it kind of stinks for videos and stuff if you were trying to show off what you were doing, but that's the intention, is to be a benefit for you, not for not for others, right? So that is that portion. I'm going to remove this. And next we will do some audio tests. I think that completes the unboxing portion. So we will hook this bad boy up and we will do some audio testing. Let's do that. Hey guys, and we are back. And as you can tell, I have everything set up here. Boom arm adjusted nicely to my desk. I gotta be very careful. My camera seems like it's a little shaky in that position because I had to rearrange it a couple times. But boom arm seems nicely set up on the desk. This cable here, right? I measured the cable. It's about 8 feet long, just a little longer than 8 feet. I think 8 feet is gonna be usable by the time you get bends and stuff out of it. So you're looking at that, right? The boom arm here, or the extension arm, did really well. It seems really sturdy. I haven't really had to deal with it or anything like that. And then the shock mount, right? As I'm moving this around, you shouldn't hear any bumping or anything like that. I'll be checking the audio, of course, after I'm done with this. But everything's set up real simply. USB, plugged it straight in. Everything worked perfect. It actually set as my default audio device, but if you have any other audio setups on your system, right, for here in my OBS studio, or my slobs, right, Streamlabs studio here, originally I had the headset microphone set up as my default, so you just got to double check to make sure that kind of pans out properly. But other than that, I'm really impressed with it so far. I did a really short audio test for myself just because I had to dial back the sound a little bit. With my headset microphone, I had a 6 dB gain added to the microphone through Streamlabs, and with this guy here, I've actually got no gain set up, and I have been able to turn down the microphone volume to about 85%. So you're looking at a much more sensitive microphone. With some of my other filters, I tried not to adjust anything except the gain, so that way I could just work with the levels and show you the sound differences between the different microphone types. So the filters will all be applied the same. Just I'll have different gains set up because of that, right? Just to make sure my audio levels are about the same. You can, what was the one thing? I'm trying to remember what the one thing I told myself I needed to look at. I don't know what it was. Oh, one thing I did notice, actually, it's kind of something simple. On the tripod here, you can actually mount the shock mount to it. So, right, it comes with a standard tripod screw-on type, right, with no shock mount or anything with it, right? It's just that standard screw-in threading for the microphone. But you can also put you can also screw the shock mount onto this. So if you were in a situation where you might be moving the microphone during your recording session, you could use that as well. So that was kind of nice to see too. It uses the same threading type that the shock mount uses for this boom arm, right? Let's see, what else was there that I was going to windscreen, or not windscreen, my pop filter. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to do, when I do the audio tests, I will do some of that as well. I'll do a keyboard sound test to show you the differences between the cardioid sound and the omnidirectional sound. And I think that's pretty much for this portion of it. So far, I'm pretty impressed. Definitely something that I will be very happy with, I hope. And, you know, as I get into and fine tune some noise suppression and things like that to work specifically for this microphone, it'll be good. So, next up, I'm going to be doing the audio test. So I will kind of transition over to that and we will see how that goes.
So this is the first of 3 audio tests. Currently, we are using the internal microphones for the Logitech C920 camera. We will be doing a keyboard test and a harsh syllable test. I am trying to emphasize my S's and P's very aggressively here in order to make sure that, you know, we can test this pop filter and windscreen portion. So we will start with keyboard keys. I'm just going to kind of mash some keys here on the keyboard as if I was typing. Right, and you can hear the impact of that on my voice being able to be included in the sound. And then my silly sentence is going to be, Sally picked pickles from Peter's Perfect Store. And that should conclude our C920, and we will repeat the process now using our headset microphone.
This is test number 2 of audio. We are now currently using the Sadie's SA902. And just to be frank, I have not been disappointed with the quality of this microphone. It's been great for gaming and things like that, but, you know, for big audio production, I wanted something just a little smoother, a little cleaner. And when I'm doing live streaming, I kind of wanted something that would filter out the keyboard sounds that wasn't omnidirectional, right? So we will just do some typing here. As if I were doing that, as if I were trying to say something very important in game. And mouse clicks were another big thing that I had before. you could hear my mouse very actively with this microphone. So now we will do my silly statement using aggressive syllables. So Sally picked pickled peppers from Peter's Perfect Store. And again, I don't think I said it in the first one. The Logitech microphone is about 24 inches away. This one obviously is, 2 inch from my mouth. So that will be the first two. And next we will test the Maono. So we are now on test number 3 using the Maono microphone. I'm keeping it about 3 to 6 inches away from my mouth here with the pop filter right in front. We have a 85% volume coming from the Windows system. So I don't have any gain filters or anything applied inside of the Streamlabs studio. So we're just doing that. And we are now going to do our keyboard typing test. And to gauge, I am actually substantially closer. The microphone is actually substantially closer to my keyboard than my headset would have been in that same position, just because the microphone is in between me and the keyboard now. So we will see how that sounds. If it sounds any different, it might not. I might need to, kind of work on the positioning of the microphone and whatnot to support better sound there. And yeah, let's do that. And then I will do my harsh syllables. So here's my keyboard sound. It does still look like the microphone is picking up some of that. I haven't heard it yet, so I don't know what the differences are going to be. And then my harsh syllables will be Sally picked pickles from Peter's Perfect Store. So that is my harsh syllable test there, just to get a little bit of sounds in there with some aggressive S's and P's and things like that. One thing that I'm really hoping this pop filter helps with is my P's. I kind of emphasize P's quite a bit too much. So I think that will help a lot. I might turn up the volume or the sensitivity a little bit more. We'll see. Got to play with that. But let's end this portion, and then I'll do my final review. So after listening to all 3 of my different sources here, my different audio input sources, I definitely think the Maono has an improvement on my tone of voice, and it works well for me. As you could tell, the Logitech was pretty poor. It was not designed. I mean, it's designed to pick up all the sounds in a room. It's very, is it dynamic? I don't even know what type of microphone it is, but it's something that, you're going to end up with picking up all sounds it can, because it's designed for webcasting and web conferencing and things like that, right? So that type of microphone, my headset microphone, again, it's not bad. It was more of just certain sounds and syllables and things like that, and it was omnidirectional, so it would pick up sounds outside, and it wouldn't kind of block that out, although it does have a small hole there to kind of gauge the way the sounds do work with that, but I'll still probably use it if I'm strictly gaming and not streaming, but just so this isn't right in front of me. But I am very happy with this. In terms of what did I miss? Oh, one thing I forgot to cover, and I will mention now, is that the full extension right now, the arm is extended about 36 inches. So depending on the width of your desk, I mean, if you have a desk that's wider than 6 feet, then you might need a longer arm, depending on where you sit at your desk and whatnot. This is almost fully extended for me to get in front of my keyboard and computer. So I think that depending on, and hopefully hitting that doesn't create a lot of boom noise there. I'm kind of playing with that right now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to play a little bit. I can see in my mixer volume here that I'm kind of bumping into the clipping phase. So I may even be able to reduce the sensitivity a little more. Depending on how close I get and how far I get from the microphone and things like that. But so yeah, I'm very happy with this so far. Coming in at a $55 price range. I think it was $63 with an $8 off coupon, when you got it all figured out there. Having all the accessories that came with it, you get the tripod, you get the extra mount, you get the boom, you get the shock mount, you get the boom arm, you get the windscreen, pop filter, all that kind of stuff. By the time you factor in all those additional accessories, you're really only paying maybe $20 for the microphone, right? All those additional accessories on their own are going to be $30 added up. So you're really getting a good, decent quality microphone for something that you can use as an entry-level streamer, as an entry-level YouTuber like myself, right? I'm just getting my channels off the ground and kind of things like that. So I'm very happy with the selection and very happy with the purchase right now. I don't see myself needing a major upgrade until I went to an XLR type setup or something like that, whenever I needed something along that line. But yeah, it's been an excellent setup so far. I don't even know why I'm wearing these headphones. I'm just so used to it now. So yeah, that is it's definitely going to be, it's definitely a good buy. I am providing a link down in the description to this item in the Amazon world, or in the Amazon setup there. If it's something you're definitely interested in, or you're looking for a new entry-level microphone, check this thing out. And again, it's the Maono AU-A04 or AU-A04 Plus. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, I hope you like this review of the Maono microphone, this tech review, unboxing, everything kind of summed up into one video. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're looking for more unboxings and things like this. I try to pick up a little tech item here, something under 50 bucks that anybody can grab, and it might be a benefit to their setup of their system. I'm trying to do little unboxings like that from here and there and doing tech reviews of things. If you like the video and you like the channel, you like the content coming out, be sure to please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and it helps YouTube know that people are enjoying the content that I'm providing. So other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, whenever you're watching this, and we will see you next time. I'm Chris, your dad next door, and have a good one.